All right, we are again to another crypto Q&A. As all Q&As, we're going to have a short presentation, and then we're going to be able to answer your questions regarding whatever. It doesn't have to be regarding the presentation. Today, we're going to be talking about miners, nodes, and wallet applications, and what they are, how they differentiate, and how they can influence the Bitcoin network. So it's going to be Bitcoin centric today. But before going to that, we need to make the disclaimer, which is nothing that we say here is to be considered financial tax or legal advice. Once you understand that, you're welcome to watch our content, or to enjoy our content. This crypto Q&A does occur every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, in case you want to attend live. And again, no financial, no tax advice. The only advice I can give to you is educate yourself before investing. Make sure you get enough education, enough information before making your investment. And as everyone in crypto do have an expertise, I am known as a risk-averse guy. And that's because I have a very simple guideline. If there's a doubt, there is no doubt. If I have doubts about investing on a project, I simply don't. Now, again, today we're going to be talking about nodes, and I think you guys may not know necessarily what nodes are, so I'm going to be explaining to you what are nodes, miners, wallets, and what role they play. And again, this presentation is short, and a lot of things here, as usual, are oversimplified so that you can understand the concept. So we're going to be talking in a roadmap, and the roadmap is first we're going to explain, again, in a simple terms, what is a blockchain, what is a node, what is a miner, what is a wallet, how are they similar, and then how they're different. So nodes, miners, wallets, and their role. So what is a blockchain? There are many explanations to this with the Clubhouse room on this, and there's many definitions. I think Andreas Antonopoulos has about 5 to 8 different definitions on what a blockchain is, but in simple terms, the blockchain is the backbone on which all cryptocurrencies, or almost all cryptocurrencies, do run. Now, the blockchain is a ledger. In simple terms, it contains transactions that has been made on the blockchain. And the ideal blockchain would have all transactions from the very beginning of the creation of the cryptocurrency. And in this digital ledger, if it is proof of work, and again, we're talking here about mainly Bitcoin, it is immutable, it is decentralized, and it is secure. Now, when a transaction is made using cryptocurrency, the data of that transaction is stored on the digital ledger or the blockchain. Each of the data sets contain each transaction and information called in the block. So each page or each data set containing the transactions information is called a block or a page on the blockchain, or a page on the ledger. To store the information as blocks or as pages, the blockchain needs to distribute that information to a series of connected devices or computers, and that distribution is what makes to be distributed ledger or decentralized. Now, each of those devices or computers are called a node, and a node is basically a complete copy of the entire blockchain or the entire book of transactions or the entire ledger of transactions. Now, let's talk more a bit about this book or this copy of the ledger, which is a node. The one thing, again, the image is not here. In a computer science, the term node simply means a device that plays a part in a larger network, which means once you have the distribution made through various computers, each computer with that copy can be called a node. Now, nodes are the foundation of the blockchain, and is what allows the function of the blockchain to occur in a decentralized or distributed manner. So basically, a node is a computer that is linked to the entire cryptocurrency network and performs certain tasks, such as producing, receiving, broadcasting, and moving data. Now, nodes are designed to distrust one another. They're distrusting by nature. That means whenever a node broadcasts a transaction, all the other nodes will distrust that broadcasting, and all the nodes will verify that transaction before writing themselves on their copy. And as they broadcast to other nodes, the other nodes, again, they're going to be distrusting and verifying everything about the particular transaction. So the main purpose of the node is to distrust and therefore verify each transaction before it is permanently written and stored on a block or a page of the ledger. Now, all nodes associated with the blockchain, they communicate with each other, transferring transaction information and creating new pages or new blocks on the blockchain. Now, that covers the node and what is a blockchain. Now let's look at what is a miner. A miner is an actor that participates on the cryptocurrency transactions. Now, what part does it play? What is the role? The miners ensure the integrity and the security of the blockchain, doing something slightly different than the node. What they do is they create new cryptocurrencies. They verify the transactions in the blockchain. And how do they do that? They do that by solving an equation. So every time a page, as you see here, of transaction is finished, another page begins, and the miners are the ones that determine when a page is finished. And the page is finished when the miners get reward for guessing a particular solution to a mathematical problem that cannot be solved, cannot be guessed. So the miners will use a specific hardware that guesses the answers to a very extreme mathematical problem, which cannot be solved. They have to continue throwing guesses at the problem until they guess the right answer. So again, the problem is impossible to be solved. It can only be guessed. Now, the first computer to find that solution will have verified the transaction with its node and will receive the cryptocurrency, and then the next block or the next page is open. Now, the reward received is the incentive that motivates the miner to ensure the transactions and the security of the network. Now, many users all over the world share those responsibilities. And because many people can engage, enter, and exit the process, that creates decentralization, the decentralization part of the blockchain. The probability that a participant will be the one to find a solution is proportionally related to the amount of computational power that that miner has dedicated to the solving the equation. So that's a miner. Now let's look at what is a wallet. A crypto wallet is pretty much what allows you to store, send, and process your transactions with the cryptocurrency that you want to use. And it's basically a software program most of the time, or it is a software connected to a specific hardware in the case of the cold storage. Or a lot of times you can also do it, you can have it in a paper, which is very low technology. It's just QR codes, and you have a QR code where you deposit and a QR code where you withdraw it. Now, crypto wallets do not physically hold a cryptocurrency. There's no such thing as you have cryptocurrency in a wallet. What you do have is a public and a private key that enables you to access on the blockchain, verify your funds, and also access you to transact your funds in case you decide to do that. Now, how are the wallets, nodes, and miners similar? The first similarity between them is they all can vote on what happens on the blockchain. So in the case of the Bitcoin, miners, wallets, and nodes, they have the ability to vote and decide the future of the blockchain. So that's one thing that you need to understand. I'm going to go back to the voting part here so you can understand how they can vote. So imagine this. Imagine that there is X amount of nodes connected to the miners, and let's say, just hypothetically, that we have 100 miners, 100 nodes connected to miners. Beautiful. Now, if we have 300 nodes, which are not mining, and there's an update to the Bitcoin network, if the nodes that are not connected to the miners, they do not update, the miners do not hold the majority of the voting power because most nodes are not upgrading to that update. Same thing with a wallet. If there's an update and the developers of the wallets, they do not embrace the update, that update becomes obsolete. So in order for an update to be successful on the Bitcoin network, miners, nodes, and wallet developers, they have to agree, and they all have to adjust to the new update. If one of those parts don't agree or they don't do the update, that update becomes obsolete. So you need to have the majority of the nodes, the majority of the miners, and the majority of the wallets accepting that update in order for the update to occur. So when people hear, oh, miners control everything, no, miners don't really control everything. They still need the nodes, and the nodes still would need the app developers, the wallet to adapt or to enable the updates. Now, how are they different? Nodes and miners are very different. You can run a node without mining, but you cannot mine without a node. If you are a miner and you don't have your own node, you have to at least connect to one. Now, wallets, they store the public and the private keys that allows regular people to access their phones and transact. So again, all of those play a role on what happens or what is the future of that particular blockchain. So let's recap. We covered for you today, what is a blockchain, what is a node, what is a miner, what is a wallet, how are they similar, and how they're different. So a blockchain is the entire copy of all the transactions, is the ledger, but it's also run then and kept by node. A node is the actual hardware that has that copy. And the hardware and software that has the copy of the blockchain then is designed to distrust every other node, and that enables to have redundant verification and agreement with all the transactions. A miner would have to guess the solution to the mathematical problem, and the wallet is the application that allows you to interact, transact, and store your crypto. And we also saw how they're similar. They all have votes on the network, and how they're different. One does not necessarily depend on the other in terms of a node doesn't need a miner, but the miner needs a node, and the wallet needs the blockchain and the cryptocurrency in order to be able to create apps that allows you to transact with those. So this is the end of the presentation. And again, this Q&A occurs every Wednesday at 1 Eastern time. And if you do need extra education, feel free to contact us. We do provide coaching. We have an academy. We are Monday to Friday in Clubhouse. We have a YouTube channel. We are on Instagram, and we're slowly fading from Facebook. So by the equinox, we will no longer be on Facebook. And with that,